Welcome to BackChat. Today I sit with the CEO of Gralix Actuarial Consulting, Mulenga Mutati. Previously, he was based in the UK and has worked for big organizations, and we're going to have a discussion today. Mulenga, hi, how are you?
Fine, Choolwe. How are you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Yeah, busy, but not complaints, as long as we're keeping above the water, right?
Yes, that's true. Thank you for giving us your time, according us your time. Today we want to talk about your business and what you do. Please, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, so name is Mulenga Mutati, actuary by profession. I'm sure you're aware what an actuary does, but for those who don't know what an actuary is or what an actuary does, essentially we advise financial institutions such as insurance companies, pension funds, or banks. We help them with their capital management and their risk management.
So, having worked as the CEO of Gralix for over a year, what would you say is the key to operating a successful business in Zambia?
That's an interesting question. So when we started, I think I spent, and I tell my staff this story, I spent 8 months knocking on doors. It took us 8 months to actually get the first client through our door. So that shows you need a lot of perseverance, right? So if you give yourself, and a lot of people in the diaspora maybe have spoken to me and they're like, oh, I'll come to Zambia for 2 months and see if there's a business opportunity that can work. You need to give yourself time. You need perseverance as well, and also understanding what you're selling, right? So don't try and copy the next person. Have a value proposition that you're bringing to the clients. Understand it deeply.
So having previously worked in those organizations, those are multinational businesses. So what's unique? What's unique about the business and the investment climate in Zambia?
So, like you say, it's a niche, or it's considered to be niche, just because no other local Zambians are doing it. But these services have been provided in the Zambian market for the last, I would say, 20, 30 years. But what has happened is these services have been provided by international companies. My reason to come back was spurred by, I could feel the investment climate in Zambia was changing, A. And B, it's always been a dream, but always, I think I got too comfortable in the UK, right? So I kept on saying, next year I'll go, this year I'll go. But I only actually decided to make the jump when I spent a number of months here in Zambia, working in Zambia, and networking and listening to what is going on the ground. It's very difficult to make a decision if you're not actually sat with Zambia. And I had the privilege of doing that, so that's what made me make the jump.
I wanted to also find out, since Hakainde Hichilema came into office in 2021, have you noticed a shift in the attitude to investment within Zambia as well as the investment climate in the country? Is there a shift that you've noticed?
So for me, I think the shift has been more so for sort of not foreign but local. You can see there's a real support for local businesses.
Okay.
And I say this from the perspective of the clients that I've currently been working with. So when setting up the business, obviously I was skeptical because I was going to be competing with international firms, right? International firms that have established themselves here for I don't know how many years.
Okay, so then what is your message to foreign businesses and investors currently looking at Zambia as a place to move into?
I'll say there's a lot of potential, there's a lot of opportunity. So when I made the decision to move back, I was like, let me try and do the actuarial business for a bit. If it doesn't work out, I'll go back to the UK. But just being on the ground and networking, listening to the gaps that we have within the country, there's a lot of opportunity to do things across different areas, be it farming, be it in the services industry, be it in manufacturing. There's a lot of opportunity. Zambians as people are friendly, they're very welcoming, and there are a lot of people on the ground that are keen to partner with international investors from across the the full value chain. So from setting up the business all the way to producing a product. There are key experts in every particular field that can support these international businesses. It's just a matter of A, giving them a chance, and B, these people in the local market marketing themselves to these international investors.
Okay, so as someone who took the gap or leap of faith to say, let me go into this market, have you already, in the short time you've been operating, have you had companies, other organizations? Have you been approached?
Oh, yes. So we've been approached by a couple of firms outside of Zambia who are keen to invest in the business.
Okay.
We've been considering these offers quite critically, but we're at the point where we feel we still have space to grow organically without external capital. And at the point where potentially we would need that external capital, we may engage with these conversations to figure out the next step.
So there you have it. You heard it from the CEO of Gralix Actuarial Consulting. This is BackChat. I don't know if you have any last remarks you'd like to give to a young entrepreneur, someone who wants to run a business, and also to investors that are looking at Zambia.
So from a young entrepreneur perspective, like I said, understand your market, understand your value proposition, and be targeted, be laser focused on what you're providing to your potential clients. There are so many opportunities in Zambia. So if you look at, say, the tenders that get released, there are tenders across 20 different areas, right? So don't go in and say, oh, today I'll supply stationery, or there's something for the roads, let me go and try and do this tender, or there's something for uniforms, let me try. Let's move away from being a general dealer to be focused on something, and when you focus on something, do it really good, right? There's no use in doing the whole scattergun approach, because in most situations, you'll be competing against someone who's taken the decision to focus on a line area and doing that properly. So that'll be my advice to people who are starting up. And investors, I would say, yeah, Zambia is open. There are a lot of hungry, motivated young people, because I'm a youth. I guess the older people must be motivated, but I'm speaking more towards the youth. There are a lot of motivated, hungry people who are willing to take your vision or take your dream to the next level within Zambia and within the wider Africa. So not Zambia, there are people who are motivated to take your idea across the region. So give us the opportunity.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for your time, Mulenga. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
We are going to keep following your story. We wish you nothing but success, and may you contribute to the Zambian economy.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.